Now I believe that drum section there is what allowed this track to get on the Lo-Fi Beats playlist. What's up guys? I hope you're all well. So in my time away from YouTube, I managed to get one of my beats, Blossom, playlisted on the Spotify Editorial playlists. The tune made it up there about a year ago, December 2022, and it's still up there today. So in this video, I just want to talk about that beat real quick. I will load the Ableton session, we'll look at the samples, we'll look at the drums, we'll look at all the instruments I recorded, and hopefully it will give you a bit of an insight on my creative workflow when making a beat like this. So back when I made this beat, I was in a creative rut for a couple of weeks. And when I get into these ruts, how I get out of them is just make a batch of really quick beats from splice loops. Get a drum loop, get a melody loop, put it together, export, next one. And this one rung a lot, so I kept it there, I worked on it, added layers, chopped up the samples, and ended up making this beat. What's important is just always making your music. And without you knowing it, because you're so focused on the music, something eventually will pop off in the background. So let's go like this. I'm gonna open Ableton, I'm gonna load the session, let's talk through that beat. But first, let's get some coffee. Alright, here we are in the Ableton session of my song Blossom. First sample that I took from Splice was this one here, Guitar Pad Autumn Wet. You can see it down here in Ableton's sampler. And this is what it sounded like originally. So the sample's already fire, as you can hear, it already has lo-fi qualities to it. I added this delay, just stock Ableton. Then I added a bunch of effects here just to make it a bit more lo-fi, let's say. And then finally I added Valhalla, super massive reverb. Nice bit of tail to it to make it atmospheric. And I chopped it up and played it like this. The next thing I did was add a guitar to this melody, just a little funky Quincy Jones type thing, just to make it a bit more bouncy. The guitar by itself. So really simple, but if you add that to the melody, now after this, I wanted to add something that sounded like I sampled it from a record, and I went back to the guitar, I recorded a chord, and just cut it down to a tiny transient, and it sounds like this. With the rest of the track so far. Very cool little layer there. Another guitar. Very reverby, ambient guitar. Now, I love vocal samples in my beats. I think vocals just add a very human characteristic to all beats. So I took a vocal sample always from Splice and I chopped it down again to add a little funky layer, and it sounds like this. Later on in the beat, it sounds like this. If you ever feel like your beats just have this empty character behind your main melodies, strings are really good to fill out the emptiness and create a kind of atmospheric layer for everything to build on top of. I always use session strings too from Contact. They just sound very organic to me. I have to say I'm really proud of that. I mean, all the instruments fit in really well together. Quick intermission here, guys. I'm here on my balcony in Milan. Beautiful day. Just want to say, if you're liking the video, don't forget to subscribe. You know how it works. You know it helps a lot. You know it helps the channel. We're trying to make something go on here, all right? Trying to start a business or something. So your help is much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of the video. Now let's move on to the drums. So I pulled up a drum loop and messed with it very little because it just sounded very good. In the B section of a track, I wanted to make something very different So I took these kind of open hi-hats that the loop does and just repeated them, and it sounds like this. Now I believe that that drum section there is what allowed this track to get on the Lo-Fi Beats playlist. It's so original. I've never heard any other beat have that style of drums in it before. When you think your drums are getting a bit repetitive in like last choruses, I always add kind of trap hi-hats. So you know, it's pretty fire. So for the bass, I'm using the Key Bass. It's just the best bass plugin for this kind of stuff, in my opinion. With the drums. Shaker and tambourine. All together. Alright guys, I hope you liked the beat and the video. If you want me to dive more specifically into any of these samples or the drums or the guitars or any of the other instruments, please let me know down in the comments and I will make a video on that so that it's relevant to what you want to see. Feels great to be back. This was really fun to make. I hope you had as much fun watching it and I'm really looking forward to the next one. Alright guys, keep making beats, stay fly, stay hungry. Catch you later.